line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up.
Yes, indeed, race fans. It is finally time at last. Our first call of 2023 is upon us, and we return from the old grassroots of dirt racing to a grassroots of asphalt racing. We are back live here with the Pit Stall Racing Series in the Super Late Model Division down at Richmond Raceway, live here on PT Racing TV for today's action and showcase of the Pit Stall Racing Series Season Championships. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Trier, joining you guys here today as we are currently looking on at a star-studded lineup of over 17 drivers making the call so far, still some yet to intervene. We've got some new camera angles, some new tools, and some new techs we've been working on highly over the series, as well as over all of our camera angles and our camera works here. So if you guys do enjoy some of these new cameras we came out with, as well as some of the stuff we've worked on, please do let us know, because that's the only way we know whether or not we're getting better or we are taking a step back. We always look to step forward, though. We never look to go back. So without further ado, though, of course, it's time to take a listen into our drivers tonight here and see how everyone is shaping up for the action at hand today. Starting up on the action here, we'll listen in with the number 6 driver. He pilots the big Viagra 6 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eric Blount on the call. Eric, how are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
All right, well, man, as we bring you to the action and bring you to the showcase, I'm going to ask you, you've been rocking some new equipment and getting this thing dialed in for 2023. What is the goal here today at Richmond, and what's going to be the plan to survive and stronger?
Well, just to try to get a good finish, you know, first race out, you know, just not do nothing stupid and shoot ourselves in the foot.
For sure there. Now, I'll ask you this, too. I mean, Richmond is a grassroots stock compared to what you guys have been running on quite a bit, other than maybe Iowa Speedway. So what does it really kind of take to get around a track like this and to hang on for the long haul?
Patience, patience, patience.
You guys hear here first. Patience, patience, patience will be the way to go. For Eric Blount, thank you for your time today, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
Eric Blount on the line there, getting ready to get out of here. Let's take a listen down now as well to one of our own favorites here, the driver that has put it in victory lane already. Ladies and gentlemen, the 84 is Len McNeese. Well, I think he is on the clock. I don't know if he's on the job, though. As you see, the car was kind of empty down there in pit road. And I'm assuming he is currently stepped aside somewhere, so we'll just leave him be for now. Also, race fans, again, like I said earlier on here, with the new camera angles we got going on these cars there. I won't let you know which ones they are, but there are 4 of them. I put them on the car themselves. It's not the track yet. Don't worry, we're working on that still. But while we are going through this action today, just do let us know what you think and everything, so that way we know for sure we're getting all settled up and we're doing it right. It does mean a lot and it helps us out tremendously. And speaking of out tremendously here, how about we listen to one of the guys that knows a thing or two about running it with the big boys. Ladies and gentlemen, driving the number 45, it's Tim Williams.
How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good, sir. And looks like you're shaped up to be back in black with that helmet and that look on you, my friend. I'm going to ask you, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. The only problem is I might have to duck out.
Duck out. Why is that, sir?
Well, I'm going away tomorrow, and I got to take the dog to the dog sitters, and I'm just waiting for them to call. I'm hoping they don't, but maybe she'll come and pick him up. It's my daughter, so I might have to go take the dog over there.
Well, I mean, if it ends up being that case and you have to lead the race early, we certainly will miss you around here, Tim. But nevertheless, we're good to have you for what we have the time now. If you are able to get into this race and really finish it out, what's the goal and what is going to be your first real big showcase for here in the 2023 campaign?
Well, the goal for tonight would be to stay off the wall for a while. It seems to me I'm having problems with that again. The car's a little loose for me. I got to get used to it. But I'm hoping to do a lot better throughout the rest of the season.
For sure there. All right, Tim. We appreciate your time down here. Best of luck down in the crew.
Thank you very much, sir. Take care.
You too. Tim Williams, ladies and gentlemen, on the line there. Let's take it down now and talk with the guy that pilots the big 00. It is Gordon Larson Jr.
How's it going up there?
Oh, going pretty good down here, Gordon. I got to ask you, man. I mean, we've seen you on the big tracks. We've seen you a little bit on the grassroots racing with Iowa Speedway, but now you visit a track very similar to it in Richmond. But how much of a difference maker does it make for you and the crew on this kind of banked up little track?
We'll see. I'm happy with the car right now. You know, like I always say, we always would like to see it stay green flag racing is what we always shoot for. But you know, it happens, it doesn't happen.
Absolutely, with a crowd of 30,000 in attendance as well here. I know this is definitely one of the bigger crowds you guys have been able to go across and deal with here. Do you think that having this big crowd on hand kind of makes things a little bit more interesting to figure out how to beat and bang around the place, or do you think it's just going to be another war of attrition for some of these drivers?
Yeah, you know, I think we can have a good, clean race if you know, people just give and take a little bit. I think we could have put on a real good race.
All right, Gordon, we appreciate your time down there, sir. Best of luck to you and the crew.
Thank you, sir.
Gordon Larson Jr., ladies and gentlemen, on the line there, because we get a listen in here to him and the crew. Well, going into this race and this championship hopes, race fans, a guy that's still looking for the season title at the very end of it all, the man who pilots the big 03. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Cody Griffin to the call.
How's it going, guys?
It is going good today. Yes, we reel you in as well here to the 2023 season campaign. You've got 3 races left, this being the first of the 3 here, and this being the smallest of the venues here. Does that make it a little bit more of your style and more interesting to kind of take and go for?
Yeah, it's definitely more my style, especially with the car combo that we've got. This is definitely more of this car speed too, so it's I'm looking forward to it. It is a short track though, so got to keep your nose clean, got to watch out for the wrecks. I got a feeling there might be a lot of spins tonight. This thing's a little loose on exit and it's pretty tight on entry, so it ought to be interesting to see how it races.
With it being loose on the exit and then tight on the entry, what is a way to kind of get the car to kind of take a set to be able to actually control kind of a half median with that kind of level of mindset?
Well, as far as the tight entry, I throw some rear brake to it. That's what I done. I threw quite a bit to this one. I'm actually maxed out. That'll help your rotation in. Back your corners up will help too. And then as far as coming off the corner, there's really no good fix for loose off other than drive it with the throttle pedal. So that's where I shine. So ought to be pretty good. I'm looking forward to hanging the right rear of this thing out a little bit.
Sure there, Cody. Nevertheless, we appreciate your time down there, sir. Best of luck to you and the crew.
Appreciate y'all.
Cody Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, on the line there. Well, I'm going to give him one more chance here and see if he's on the line now. Len, do you got a copy down there?
I got you now.
Hey, there he is, race fans. All right, well, earlier we didn't even get to hear you. You were kind of either going to the bathroom or you were doing something out there on the clock there, sir. I don't know what you were up to, but at least we have you on the line now.
Yeah, I went ahead and made an early pit stop.
Early pit stop, fair enough. All right, so Len, we talked about it before. You know, we're starting a new year off, and obviously you got a lot of eyes on you and this crew. But I got to ask you, how much pressure are you feeling going in with this new year and a new season still to come upon here as you're finishing this one out?
Yeah, I mean, trying to stay in points up there, it's a lot, I feel like a lot of pressure right there to just staying up in the top 5 in points. And being a new year, hopefully, maybe I'll do better this year than I did last year.
For sure there. Now, I will ask you as well here, with the way this season's been playing out, the way things have been kind of going for you and the crew, how difficult do you think it's going to be to kind of keep that pressure on and keep the momentum up as you get to the final legs of these races?
It's going to be more harder. We're starting to get a few more guys showing up here lately, so it's more cars on the track. The competition is a little better, and it's just making it, good tight racing.
Absolutely, indeed. All right, well, then, nevertheless, thank you so much for coming on board today, bud. Welcome to 2023 year ending season racing, man.
Yep. Happy New Year to you, and appreciate you pulling me up there.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 84, Len McNeese. Well, race fans, pretty much that's everyone we got to talk with. There's nobody else that's really on the line to chat with right now, so we're just going to let the drivers kind of go out here for a little bit and have a little fun on the track. As we've currently got about 8 minutes left of practice on the time zone here. We'll go into qualifying with 10 minutes on the clock here. Well, guys, we'll take a little bit of a break here, though, race fans. When we come back, we'll get set on the action here to finish out practice. Tonight's race presented in part by the friends at over at Fort Worth Screen Printing. When you guys need the custom designed t-shirts done up your way and your style, only one brand and name can stand above all else. The time-tested tradition of Fort Worth Screen Printing. Be sure to visit them up at fortworthscreenprinting.com. Also, be sure to visit up the be sure to also visit up John T. Garrett Twitch channel. And be sure to give him a like and a follow there as well for support and help to the Fort Worth Screen Printing guys as well as the Pit Stall Race Series. Thank you again to John T. Garrett Twitch channel and FortWorthScreenPrinting.com. And of course, by Lightning Wrapz, with the most affordable designs made at your leisure, Lightning Wrapz is looking to bring you the best designs in your liveries. When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure. And welcome back here, race fans, here live here at Richmond, Virginia's Richmond Raceway. We are currently on the clock here, finishing out practice time here for the drivers. The field is currently getting ready to rock and roll it out on the circuit. We're taking a look at our top 5 right now in terms of practice, as it looks like the old fenders are getting used up a little bit. John Garrett gets a little tag there from his friend and colleague, Dustin Franklin. And again, this isn't the race, but you'd think the way these guys are running, the way they're kind of bringing it to the power here, you'd think otherwise here, because it seems like they don't mind too much on kind of playing that game. So right now, currently, as we're still getting squared up and really pumped out into position, getting set for the action at hand. Again, a lot of drivers currently focusing on overall predicament, overall positioning, and where they're going to be playing it out on the circuit here. As we take a look at our track tech talk as well, before I get back into the current positions here, presented by Lightning Wrapz, here is your track tech talk. Now, I said earlier on that last track we're at that was kind of a grassroots racing style was Iowa Speedway, and that's for good measure because Richmond Raceway is actually very similar in shape and scope to what Iowa Speedway is. If you notice that front straightaway, that's exactly how Iowa Speedway pretty much is. It's got that little swirled up kind of oval particular little route there, progressive cornering through 3 and 4 down into 1 and 2. But notice something else. Compared to Iowa Speedway, the backstretch actually is straighter in Richmond, and that's due to the fact that when they created this track, they designed the backstretch actually kind of after what it was originally with the old Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway little track they built up. So that backstretch was pretty much left alone. It was 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 that got updated to be a little bit more higher, making it a little more leveled out to help with the capacity levels, also to get more viewers, more fans out for this place here in Richmond. So that is the reason why you see it the way it is and why it's just a bit different than Iowa Speedway. Now, what does that mean, though, in the long run? Well, it really boils down to two things. The first thing is the backstretch is going to be a bit of a hollow grounds for keeping your speed, keep your momentum. When you notice here how they go from that progressive to that flat banking, they have to actually be very careful getting back on the throttle to then be able to shape up the corner. As they go into 3 and 4, though, that's a different story. You then have to rise the car up, and that banking actually gives a little bit more travel on the rear suspension to allow the car to travel upward a lot more, condensing and condoning more speed. But even then, you can see Gordon Larson Jr. as he goes around that little turn there, he just gets a little bit too much throttle, too much power, and the car did not agree with it. That is going to be the key he's going to have to watch out for throughout this race. And you can see there is multiple grooves here. You can use M1 and 2, of course. You get a little bit of that top side, you get a little bit of that bottom. Most drivers will tell you to go to the top side and then bring it down to the bottom. I'm personally kind of the same way I would run 3 and 4, which is I run it on the line and then I kind of let the car drift up. So drive it up high and then bring it back down as low as you can to the yellow line, just like you see what the 00 is doing here. That's usually how I would run it, to preserve tire and preserve control of the car. But that's not how everybody would run it, and that's not how everyone can get around there. Of course, there is a little bit of momentum on the outside corner ends for 3 and 4, so that could make the difference up in the long haul. We'll have to see here in this case, and really have to keep a close eye on that. 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock. Here is your fastest times of the day here so far. We'll look at the top 10. The 10th spot going into Gordon Larson Jr. You just saw him earlier on. His time laying down a nice consistent 21.91. Another 21.91 for DJ Mitchell, the number 61, so he'll be right in that hunt. And the 8th spot is Michael Pratt at 21.90. A good time, again, for consistency, but not necessarily to lay down for qualifying. Look for the drivers to really be pushing them a lot harder. Chantel Pato, though, tied in the same regard with Pratt, although 1,000 second faster. 21.90, but again, she's more of a consistent base driver, so watch for her to keep speeds low for a while and just let everyone else burn up their equipment. She'll take control later on when everyone's lost their momentum. Eric Lown, 21.89, yeah, about in the same regard, but again, he's working brand new equipment. I believe he just got a brand new steering wheel over the Christmas break, so he's actually working the gremlins out of that, really getting things figured out. Tim Williams, 5th fastest so far, 21.88. Now you start seeing more of a qualifying time, kind of based around what you can get with this car in terms of just a normal, good little speed boost. But I think with him, he can still probably say even he can get a little bit more out of it, which even then brings me to my next drivers. And this top 4, in my opinion, exorberates what you're going to see in qualifying. 21.79, John Garrett, the number 66. He lays down a vast time there, but again, that's more or less a qualifying time. Don't expect him to really be hitting those in the race itself, and the same goes for his teammate Dustin Franklin. 21.75, his fastest. Has power and has the speed. How he uses it later on, though, will definitely be his own demise. The 056, though, Blake Treywick, what can you say about this guy? Won the last AAA model race out here, put on a fight, and he moved his way through this entire field, gave it all it was worth, and took it in control, and he's going to show a little bit more of that after he started getting everyone's head a little bit. 21.65 is his fastest so far. Watch out for him to be a favorite in qualifying. And of course, what can you say about championship contender trying to go for the title, Cody Griffin, 21.63. Definitely his style of racing. You can see he loves to get the car loose, and he loves to let this thing eat some asphalt and eat into the rubber. Watch out for him. He will be a contender throughout this one. 5 seconds left on the clock here. It is time, race fans. We entered the stage. We are going to qualifying now. The drivers will be on their best behavior and really beginning on their best regards to stay out of that wall and not spin the car out. This is a big deal for qualifying, and they know it too. So let's get it down on the track for your qualifying efforts here on Pizza Race TV. Your first driver to enter into the stage, now coming out. Field gonna bring him right around here. This is single car qualifying, so you'll be seeing me skip around a lot. I apologize in advance. There's nothing I can do about it. Our first focus will be on the 61 Valvoline machine. This is DJ Mitzel, your first of the qualifiers. Brings it right around out of corner number 4. His first time. It will be a 22.23, a little bit slower than the guys that lay down the 21s. Gordon Larson Jr. sets the fast time, 21.93 to start. Todd Poston looking to set a bigger number here, though. Remember, he won at Iowa Speedway last time out, but his qualifying time definitely not reflecting that. 22.04. He will be one of the slower drivers out on the track. And Larson Jr. is laying it down today, 21.81. Your fastest qualifier, Corey Code, barely nudged out by 700 to second. DJ Menzel's time not getting much faster either, 22.10. That will put him somewhere on the bottom half of the grid. Now onto the racetrack here at Richmond. Ross Hancock, the 343. His time, well, sadly not going to be a very good one here. He's going to lay down a 22.27 for the 343. Surprising that we're not seeing the 6s kind of thrown out here yet, but again, it is early, so let's see what happens. Eric Blount now going to try to work out the gremlins and work out the bugs. He's going to lay down his first qualifying time of the day. A little bit tight, though, off of turn number 2. You heard him say earlier on, a lot of guys getting loose off that turn and the exits usually, but not in this case. May have overdrove it a little bit too much in turn 1. Try to back it off to get a bit of a grip. His qualifying time reflects a 22.04. He will be 4th fastest for now. The lone female of the group, the number 5, Chantel the Throttle Bottle, returning back to a track she knows all too well. She's won here many times before. She's looking to do it again. The Lightning Wrapz, River Bottom Raceway, number 5, Puddles Racing Machine. The Chevy car body going to go running it right down onto the track here. Her qualifying time about to be set. Slightly loose off of turn number 4. And the time definitely reflects it, but it doesn't seem to affect her. 21.82, second fastest. That is her first time. Dustin Frank laying down at 22.25. That'll put him in the 9th spot. Blake Trawick, 21.74, though. He just scoots into the lead. The Pottle. Chantel's going to get a 3rd fastest, 21.82. Blake Trawick blows the lead, though, 21.74 for his first time. His second time of the day, 21.70. And the 056 moves into the lead. We have a new leader. Talk about really putting up the fight and putting on the numbers when you got to most there. Everybody making some great time and efforts from their qualifying times, but again, some very shocking positions there for some of these drivers. Not what anyone else was thinking. So field right now currently just getting the qualifying times set in stone. Some of the other drivers maybe not looking to go qualifying just yet, but again, you look at the times here, and again, you can just see some absolutely barn burner times starting out on the track with those 21.8s, but it's only a 21.7, the only one that was laid down by anybody. I was expecting some 6s thrown in there, but again, those guys that threw in the 6s or of Cody Griffin, the John Garretts, and even a few of them being in the Dustin Franklins. But Franklin only laying down a 21.99 tells me the track either has a little bit of a surface cleanup or there wasn't enough grip built onto the track there to begin some speed and get some momentum there. So let's see what happens there. So we're currently right now waiting for the crews and drivers to get settled in. Again, we still have a few minutes left here from the qualifying runs and the qualifying speeds here. Guys currently just getting settled in on the track. 3 minutes left on the time again, guys. Just getting everyone settled in. Again, I hope you are ready to do down here with us. Really ready to see it all come down the track. I think it's time we're going to go listen to one of our drivers real quick before we enter into the stage. Russ Hancock now joins us here as our 11th fastest qualifying time here. Russ, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good as well here. And again, laying down the 11th fastest time here. And this being a home track advantage here for you. Does the track kind of lay itself more to your style, or do you think this is going to be more of a war of attrition for the team and yourself?
I think we're gonna have a war of attrition tonight. The cars are a little bit loose, and it's gonna be interesting tonight.
Interesting indeed. Now, with the way the rear end tires and all the right fronts usually like to burn off on the smaller tracks, then how much pressure do you feel that it's going to be before the laps actually start to wear that tire out and you're going to be losing a lot more speed?
I don't know how I can tell you that because the whole practice just hanging onto the car has been fun and haven't been able to even get a tire wear to see how they were doing.
For sure. All right. Well, nevertheless, Russ, we do appreciate your time here today, bud. Let's see what happens. You bring it right onto the track here in Richmond.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The driver out of Chesterfield, Virginia is going to be looking to bring it home today. It's going to be a very interesting little ride out for him and his team. He's definitely looking to put up a number. And speaking of putting up a number, look at this. One driver was still laying it way down there. Fort Worth Green Printing's number 66, John Garrett, going to lay down his final qualifying time. The number 66 going to go for the best time he can bring to the track here. Remember, in practice, he was fit. He was in the top 5 in terms of the scope. Looks like he's going to try to take one lap to get the car settled in. Going to run the extreme outside line. That's going to help build up speed. And the RPMs, his first time will not be very good at 22.32. He needs this time now to lay down a quick one. Tightens it up big time. Power off. Turn number 2 down to the backstretch. And notice how he dives down to the bottom. He's trying to corner this thing out as hard as he can. Got the tires warmed up. Put the RPMs up. His time. 21.799. 900 slower than Blake Trawick. But just enough to throw him into the second fastest time. And I guess Troy Radford was seeing the time as well. He was weighing in weight, but he's lost a lot of time, and now he lost a lot more ground. He slams the wall off of turn number 2. That lap will not count. And he's got slight damage to that right front. I don't know how well he's going to be able to get it around this final corners. 5 seconds left here in his qualifying lap here. If he's even going to make it, I don't think he's going to make it in time to get this one in. No, he will not. Time is up, and that means it is time to go racing. Race fans, it is that time again for 2023. Let's start up. Here is the proper intro for the Pit Stall Racing Series. time for the Pit Stall Racing Series. Indeed it is, race fans. Here we go. Your starting lineup today, presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. On the pole, in the 056, it'll be Blake Trawick, but that is outside. In the 66, John Garrett. Row number 2 is Gordon Larson Jr. in the 00. The outside, the 5, Chantel Pottle. Row number 3 is Corey Coe in the 20. Outside, in the number 8, it is Steve Rada. Row number 4 is going to be Dustin Franklin in the 10. The outside, in the number 6, it is Eric Blount. Row number 5, over the 31, Todd Poston. The outside, in the 84, it is Len McNeese. Row number 6 is the 61 of DJ Mitchell. The outside of the 343, it is Russ Hancock. In row number 7, we'll see the number 03 of Cody Griffin. The outside, and the number 94, Troy Radford. Row number 8 is a 77 of Michael Pratt. The outside, and the 13, it is Douglas R. Johnson. And finally, in row number 9, piloting the 47, it is Ray Radford with the outside in the big 4-5, Tim Williams. Race fans, we kicked off 2023 in the best way possible. We ended it in 2022 the best way with grassroots racing. Now we are back live here on the show. It's time to get to the action. Let's send it down trackside. Field preparing for battle here, ready to get down to business here at Richmond Raceway. A very tight lineup, a very tough fight out for many of these drivers. Some maybe looking at it in other regards, some maybe trying to push themselves to the fullest potential and the fullest limit here. Either way, no one is safe from the chaos and the ensuing nature that can follow. You best make sure you're ready to go, and you best make sure you know what you're going to bring to the table. Because when that green flag drops, so help them, you will have your hands full. Race fans, the time has come here. We're going to take the pace car out of turn number 3 and 4. Richmond, get on your feet, get on the stream. Share this one around, race fans, because the time is here, and now green flag is out. 2023 begins our campaign of races. Off the start, hot start out of the gate here for Blake Trawick as John Garrett and Gordon Larson Jr. will bring themselves down on across the track here and into the positions. Little problem down there, Steve Rada in the 8R, going to be a little bit loose off of turn number 2. Manages to bring it back, nicely done. You got to be careful around those corners, got to really keep yourself in control of your own destiny. You got to make sure that rear end doesn't slide out too much, because that's when things can get troublesome. Cody Griffin finds that out the hard way, but you heard him say earlier, he loves a loose car. That's his style of racing, and he's getting a little bit of it and then some. Maybe a slight bit over-aggressive in the corner there. He's got to be careful not to get too out of touch and out of hand. Battle for the top 5. Rada up ahead. Corey Coe and Franklin right now battling it out. Dustin Franklin in the Camel Pontiac machine getting a good drive off ahead of the 20. Corey Coe, we're on board. Griffin, though, to the inside. Big battle off to the Drive Nutrition. Number 03 puts the fight to the limit. Griffin's going to be a tough hombre when he gets it going. And he knows it, too. The throttle Chantel Bottle slightly loose off of turn number 4. Manages to keep it under control as she chases down the 00 of Mid-South, Gordon Larson Jr. Field strongly and persecutingly just staying in control of their own destinies. You saw Toad Post down there at turn number 3 making a little bit of a jump as the Village Bank 31 makes a good drive off ahead of the number 6 of Eric Blount. Blount not quite able to keep his momentum alive as much as he was hoping for as we go on board with him. And again, Blount, we're going to talk about it constantly, but again, this guy is going to be trying his hardest to get this steering wheel he's got, these pedals he's got dialed in. We talked about how much he was on the controller end for a time. Now having to completely rework, re-strategize, and perfect his style of racing. Speaking of working and perfecting the style of racing, Griffin's not wasting time. He wants to get to the front, and now he faces another tough one in the number 10. He went to the inside of Dustin Franklin, didn't quite get in there and get that control he was looking for. But man, just to hang on. Ollie Sprackler, Ronnie Christian joined us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Barry A, Lanham Jr., and Insomnical also coming on board. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show today. Down across the plains here through turn number 1 into turn number 2. There you see Gordon Larson Jr. and Paulo going at it. John Garrett just ahead of them both, currently doing his own thing. Blake Treywick, well, let's just say he found himself in another state right now. He's nowhere near Richmond. I think he's somewhere over in the North Carolina days right now. He is that far ahead of the drivers. As the problem's going to go off down the track. Chantel Bottle, problems of a turn number 4. The 5 swings it into the grassy plains. She opens up her own lawn care service and loses control of the 5. Something majorly going wrong. No caution thrown. We'll see what happened with the PTMS replay presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Major catastrophe here for the 5. See, she catches just a little bit of that yellow corner there off of turn number 4. Car is too loose still. And a big little bump there ends up in the grassy plains. That's one place you don't want to go, and she knew it. Caution is out, though. Ooh, and I think we know why there is caution out. Steve Rada, the 8R. Looks like he's got some problems down off of turn number 2 down the backstretch here, and it looks like Dustin Franklin might be in that same boat. Let's take a look at the PTMS replay. Well, Cody Griffin was definitely making a charge at some of these guys, but I don't think this is what exactly he had in mind here. Catches just enough of the 8FL action of the 8FL, not the R, my bad. And it looks like Franklin also got kind of crapped in there too. Looks like we'll have to take a look at his camera there. We'll take one more look at the AFL though. Steve Rada, at least I presume that's the FL. It looked like an R earlier, and then I messed that up. So one more look at it. You can see coming off of turn number 2. And again, this is just short track racing things here. Got a little bit loose. He gets tagged. Got saved though. Didn't wreck it. But the turn did get entrapped. Oh! And actually, I gotta kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight here. We had 2 cameras on the chopper there. One of them was at the 03. Here's one more look at him. Just gonna kind of give you guys a little bit of a sense of what things went down. Griffin got tight. And look at this, he goes for a wild little ride and just clips that 10 of Franklin. Franklin, no damage suffered. The 03, hard to say. There is a slight little damage bump on the front of the nose. I don't know how much that'll affect the car though. We'll have to see in the later wrap this run. But man, the leaders right now, you'd think they're gonna get a bit further ahead, and all of a sudden things go flipping on their head. So Larson Jr. is going to stay out here and take the race lead away. He did not go into pit road, neither did Eric Blount, so it looks like their strategy is going to be varying a little bit different than the guys up ahead of them. Steve Rada, Cody Griffin, and Dustin Franklin, all drivers getting a little bit of a spot back in the pack here. Dustin Franklin, though, unfortunately lost laps due to unforeseen malfunctions there and a little bit of a timing issue on his end after he got spun into the corner there. I think they will be taking a close look at that, see if whether or not he will be able to get his lap back, and I think that looks like that's what they're going to do here. He's going to move up back ahead of the field, or no, they will not. I think he's trying to tell the officials down there, hey, I got spun, what was I supposed to do? Looks like he's just going to have to work from the back and hope for another caution to help his troubles out because he's not getting any lucky dogs today. Tim Lee on the chat says, good start, Tim. Thanks so much for tuning in here, sir. Tim, unfortunately, not able to make the call today on the track. Suffering through a bit of an injury, unfortunately. So, Tim, we hope you're recovering nicely, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you back on the track here soon, sir. As we bring it back to the green flag here at Richmond, it's back at it on the track. Well, Larson Jr. may have had a good idea in hindsight, but that doesn't suit well for a driver that wants that race lead. Here comes the 056. Well, there's trouble down there. Blake Trawick not going to have enough time, I don't think. There's a problem down. Michael Pratt, the 77, comes to a dead stop here off of turn 3. We've got another caution, this one on the 77. And yet again, more trouble ensuing here, getting them a little bit more out of shape and out of crazy town. So we'll say, look at the replay. 3 wide salute, and looked like Pratt just came right down on that 0-3. I don't know if he really noticed where he was at or what was going on, but once he got in there, well, it was kind of do or die time there, and he didn't exactly find a good place to get in there. So tough break there, unfortunately, for him, and a very big hit there on Cody Griffin once more. But we'll take a look at the replay. There's another look at it. You can take it right here. He got into the marbles a little bit, and then he drove it right down. Douglas R. Johnson backs off, and then you see he gets loose. He brings it back down. Griffin had nowhere to go. So really, I mean, at this point, the only thing he could do was, well, the old thing you're taught. If you got nowhere to go, you got to go through them. Hate to say it, but Pratt unfortunately kind of done himself in there. That was a tough little move there. I'm not sure if he just lost steering or his spotter did not quite explain to him where he was at on the track. But nevertheless, that did cost him, and it's going to cost Gordon Larson Jr. as well as race lead. Blake Trawick's going to return to the leader spot here. So we'll have to see again. There's only 120 laps here, which again, not a bad little deal here. 120 laps is not a very, very long time, but it is still a decent amount of time, and it's still a decent amount of racing here, so very interested to see what it all boils down to. Field going to be center back up again. We'll go another lap around the track here. Get the drivers all squared up into position, squared up on the surface level. Also, Rays fans, do not worry. I know you have asked us a lot about when we were going to return on to the shows. Don't worry, we have another call coming your way Sunday night. Pedal to the Metal Racing League returns with Season 9 of the Truck Series. And if you haven't already seen that little video intro we did for them here, we will be getting that ready to go and getting them set up down at Talladega Super Speedway. And if you guys ever want to get a video done up for your league, your event, your sporting race, or anything like that, call us up here at Pizza Race TV. We have them now in our little package deals, and we'd love to add your little calls, add your little stuff in there. So be sure to let us know anytime, any place. We'll get y'all squared up. Hey, Brent Lowe coming on board says, good evening, sir. How was your day? Brent, my day was A-okay, sir. I cannot complain. Not too bad, not too rough, not too long, not too short. It was an A-okay day, my friend. Having a little bit of fun coming out onto the track and watching it live here on the show. It's great to be back in front of the people, in front of the crowds as we get them off of turn number 4 this time on by. The field rockets their way down off of turn number 4. We're green again. Well, this will be an interesting little spot to be seeing here. Drivers going up top side, some going bottom end, down to the corners though. We're going 3 wide, shoot. Larson Jr. getting a little bit of work from the 6 of Eric Blount, and also the guy that pilots the big 66, John Garrett. He's throwing some hardwood at the drivers, and he's throwing some haymakers at the others. The man wants to claim the stakes and claim the race. He wants the top spot. Oh, trouble down there off of turn number 2. The big hit for Russ Hancock. The 343 slams it off of turn number 2. Man, just to come out of it okay, but a huge hit to say the least. Man, talk about taking a huge hit and a big ride off there. Definitely nowhere to go and a lot of places to get trapped into. Field floors their way down around off of turn number 3 as Douglas R. Johnson, the number 13 machine, makes his move up top side, trying to make a jump there to the 03 Cody Griffin. As the 94 Troy Radford puts up a fight there. Remember the McDonald's 94 machine, he did not get to run in the end on the first leg of this race here. He was actually out of qualifying, and now he has to come back from the pack. Started in the 14th spot. He's making a pretty good little comeback here. And now he's got Cody Griffin right on his clutches and on his tail, trying to make a pass up ahead of him. Good little onboard camera shot here from Lynn McNeese. And again, these are some of our new camera angles we've been working on. So do let us know in the comments section, do you like what you see with these new camera angles on these cars we put on? If not, we'll never do them again. If you do like them, and we'll keep doing them. Brent Loke saying mine was still going at second job, but about to wrap it up finally. Yeah, it'd be great to get out of work there, man. Enjoy your time off. Oh! Speaking of getting time off, Griffin just putting some time off the tires there. He lost a lot more grip there just by slamming that gas pedal, but he just doesn't seem to mind or care. Eric Blount, the number 6 here, going down low on the 66 of Fort Worth Screen Printing's Don Garrett. The Viagra machine trying to bring a little bit of work around and help on the visor end here as he brackets it right in there with the 61 of DJ Mitchell. We're nearly 1/4 of the way done already with this race. And these guys have been throwing it right at one another and giving it all she's worth, trying to get the best out of the equipment, the best out of their drivers. Slams the gas pedal back down off of turn number 3 to down to turn number 4 here. Cody Griffin there gets a little bit of a piece there for the 31. As Todd Poston backs off, Radford flips the nose right on the 31 machine. Todd Poston takes a little bit of a bump there and now has to get back in control. United Rentals Village Bank machine though is in trouble. McDonald's 94 trying to get the Mick tonight going up again. Keeping the throttle rhythm at bay, keeping himself under control. Oh, look out down there. Trouble. DJ Mitchell. Get the 61 goes for the spin off of turn number 2. Caution flag is out here for the 61 Valvoline Pontiac of DJ Mitchell. He loses it right off of turn number 2 there, and something going horribly wrong as it looked like he either got overdrone or he overdrove himself. You can't do that. You drive yourself into oblivion, you will find yourself in the pit of doom. And he found himself there and then some. Let's take a look at the PTM replay. Another look at it. Let's see if there's any contact made here off of turn number 2. Nope, that's all on him. You know, in my opinion, too, it looked like he had the car squared up to turn back into it. I think he was expecting the car to actually turn right, but because that speed he was carrying, bit of a bad movement on his end. In my opinion, should have just stayed on the brake and then backed up to get it back under the way, but again, that's easy for me to say as a broadcaster. It's not so much easy for me to say as a driver, because even I could have done the same thing. I don't know. I'm just going off experience here and going off experience here coming off pit road. Treywick, Garrett, and Griffin will be the top 3 exiting out. Gordon Larson Jr. coming out 4th. Todd Poston, Troy Radford, Eric Blount, Steve Rada, Lynn McNeese, and Dustin Franklin, the top 10 exiting. Well, race fans, so far it's been a wild one here on the show. It's been even crazier through the field. When we come back, we're going to see what happens when Treywick is challenged by some serious heavy hitters. Tonight's race here for your Pit Stall Racing Series final 3 races. The first of Richmond, Virginia's Richmond Raceway is presented in part by our friends at Custom Fort Worth Screen Printing. With ForwardScreenPrinting.com, you can find the best in decals and designs to made onto the t-shirts and onto your logos. Forward Screen Printing is all that and then some. Be sure to visit them up at ForwardScreenPrinting.com. Also, a big thank you to John T. Garrett Twitch channel. Be sure to visit them up there on their website and John T. Garrett Twitch channel to support and help grow the channel and then more. And by Lightning Wrapz, with the most affordable designs made your leisure, Lightning Wrapz is looking to bring you the best designs in your liveries. We're going to double file back up here. Lap 35 will be put in the books. We'll then send it on down. 35 in so far. Again, Treywick has yet to have been challenged for the race lead. And again, I say that despite the fact he was behind Gordon Larson Jr. in the original start of the last pit stops, the sequence there that ended up getting them in to go to pit road. Even he still really didn't be challenged all that much. He was doing his own thing. He just kind of got himself squared back out on the track. I expect kind of save little bow here for him and his team to be able to use up again. We'll bring him right off of turn number 4 this time on by. Green flag back in the air. A good start for Cody Griffin to the inside. Garrett lays him alone. Griffin now into the second spot. Moving their way to the change, though. Look out below. Here comes the number 10 of Dustin Franklin to the inside as the 6 of Eric Blount tries to hold him down. He's trying to hold down 2 drivers. One of them up top in the 94, Trey Radford. Oh, as Radford gets a little bit of a smoke screen thrown at Steve Rada. The AFL machine right now getting himself a little bit of smoke doused from the 94 camp. Franklin moving his way down through turn number 3 into turn number 4, trying to make up lost ground in time. All drivers right now pounding through the momentum, keeping the control, the speed, distance ahead. Fielding him down through the field, so more smoke screen action from the 94. Taps the wall protection, going down into the entry. Blount taking good control of the bottom lane. Franklin looking for the middle ground. If he shoots the 94 up there a little higher, he might be able to make a move around the 6 of Eric Blount, but going 3 wide there is almost like a death sentence. You just don't want to hit there, and you don't want to get trapped in that mix as well. Rada lost it off of turn number 2. We've got a caution. Yellow is out here for the AFL machine. Rada slams it right off of turn number 2 there and gets himself just completely ground pounded in a very tight-ended spot. I believe the throttle shuttle bottle took some damage off that corner as well. That will definitely slow her down a little bit. Came off turn number 2, bashes the wall, and yeah, Chattel just got a good shump of that there and ended up going right in directly at him. Oh my goodness. She took a good hit. He took a very good hit as well here. Let's take a little look at the instant replay here on the nose of the Lightning Wrapz number 5. Yeah, you can see again, she had nowhere to go. I mean, what was she supposed to do? Really, there was nothing feasibly she could have done or really anywhere she could have gone with that. So Rada definitely going to take a bit of a hit off from that, and I think at the same time the throttle shunt Albano definitely going to be trying to fix up as much damage without using that instant repair up. God posting it now moving to the 3rd spot here as Treywick. Well, let's just say now Treywick going to have some company, or maybe not. Griffin looks like he's going to go into pit roads. Looks like his strategy is going to be changing a little bit here. Very interesting to see what he's got in mind here. Race fans as well, thank you all so much for tuning on in here today. We really appreciate you tuning in here. If you have not already, be sure to like and follow us up here on our Facebook end. Head over to our YouTube and subscribe here for more great content, great action here on the show. Without you guys, we wouldn't be in business, and we certainly would not be here to begin with. So thank you so much for tuning on in to these showcases. Now, we will say as well here, race fans, that we do have a couple more races remaining here on the Pit Stall Races Series end here. Of course, this first one here at Richmond. The next one will be at Dover Motor Speedway, one last short track grass route on the 12th of January and the 19th. And their season finale, well, you guys are going to think they're absolutely insane, but they are going to be driving it out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. No, I did not say the bull ring of Las Vegas. I said Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Yeah, that 1.5 mile one. Not the quad oval down there. And not the bull ring that's just around the corner on by that track. We're talking literally the actual 1.5 mile long, high banked Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Yeah, I don't know either. You ask these guys, they're crazy sometimes, but hey, that is the way it's going to go down. That is the way they're going to bring it to the table. Alright, here we go, race fans. We're going to bring it back down the track here. We're going to get you guys back in business here. Here we go down off of turn number 4. Once again, back to our green flag restart zone. Well, once again, Trey Wick will have another big lead dropped in. Dustin Franklin trying to catch up to him. Todd Poston right there with him. Troy Radford and Gordon Larson Jr. as well as Eric Black here kind of making their way through the change down on the playing field here. Field desperately trying to gain momentum, trying to gain some ground up on the track here. Everybody looking in through the field. Troy Radford, the number 94, kind of clicking close there off the edge there. Didn't quite get it. Gordon Larson Jr. His little smoke screen. He clips the wall off turn 2. No damage seems to be apparent on the double O. He seems to be okay. Round pounding their way through the entries and through the turns here. Every driver right now trying to snag what they can do and bring their table to the track. Bashing them down to the track here on the Loving field here. Len McNee's going to go to head-to-head of the 0-3. Now remember, McNeese did come away with a race win earlier on this season, popped it off at Michigan International Speedway. And what best can be described as a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of moment, where a massive mob of drivers was right behind him trying to get to him, but he was able to escape clean and escape free with the treasure and the gold that he once and so desired. It was good to see him finally knock that win off and get that one big win that we all knew he could really bring to the table. Uh-oh, slammed it right off of turn number 2 there. That is the 31, Todd Poston. And the Village Bank grabs it right off the corner. Got a big hit out of that turn. Needs to be careful here. Cannot let that happen too much more often than not. He's been getting some serious hits and runs on that turn. Corey Coe and Gordon Larson Jr. here trying to stabilize down and really bring it to the table. Griffin. I don't know if I should call him the hard charger or just the most passerby of the drivers because he just can't seem to help himself. He's passed by at least half this field already. Started from the back, started from the front, started in the middle, started somewhere around here. He just completely is going for it. Speaking of going for it right now, look out down below here. Here comes Dustin Franklin on number 10, and he tries to put one up on the mic tonight. Number 94 at Radford. Radford 12 up. He started back in the 14th spot. He is the Hard Charger Award recipient so far for now. But I think he's also the smokescreen recipient as well by how many times he smacked that wall or got the smoke to pile up. I'm not sure really that's intentional if he's just unfortunately getting too much momentum and too much speed burrowed down on the corners, but he's got to be careful about how much he dishes it to the car. Remember, these still are sheets of metal, guys. These things can't take all the punishment and abuse you might think. It's not that efficient. They can take some damage, they can take some hits, but that doesn't mean they're invincible. Lawrence Jr. right now going right up there against the 03 Cody Griffin. Griffin trying to keep him at bay. Larson Jr. though unfortunately passed up there, and you can see you can see that steering wheel too. You can see that little red darker there. That's actually kind of helping him out a bit there as he gets a little bit of a drive off shoot. Didn't quite keep his momentum in control state, control position. Slides it down right off the corner here. Comes John Garrett, the 66. Gonna single his way to the turn, single his way to the track side. He is making some comebacks here. Todd Boson also trying to do the same, but he gets trapped between a rock and a hard place, gets driven up to the outside. And you can see how hard he's having to work the wheel in the steering just to try to get a grip again. This may be a smooth out surface, but that doesn't mean anything for the long haul. It's still a very tough-ended little track to master. You almost have to be picture perfect just to make sure you hit your lines, you hit your times, you hit your spots just right if you want any chance here. These guys are getting that ideas and then some really figured out. Blount trying to hold Poston back as much as he can. This is your battle for the A spot. Larson Jr. up ahead of him, teammates. More than likely looking at the overall picture, the overall state of their position. Well, that is a 77 Michael Pratt there getting passed up by the 03 Cody Griffin. As now he is on the way of John Garrett here. Garrett trying to get there to the 03. As you saw just a second ago, this is where they are in current position. The big white is Griffin. The one in the middle is our lap traffic of Michael Pratt. And then the 66 behind him. Lap traffic is going to be a very big factor on short tracks again because you got to factor in the fact that these guys are going to have to get around them and then they got to figure out how to keep their tempers at bay. I've seen many races where many of these guys just get sick and tired of being left behind or waiting around, and eventually they just get very, very aggressive and take them for a bit of a spin. All boils down on your driving style and your momentum and you maintain, but I always said before, I'll say it again, if you don't respect the law gets you eventually. Yamor came here with the 5 Chantal Paddle. At this point, she's just kind of pushing it into controlled overdrive, trying to watch herself and trying to watch the other drivers ahead of her, making her moves down on the corners here. Taking control back down around the track. Gets it around Len McNeese here, the 84. Led her by 1.76 seconds ahead, though, for Blake Treywick. He is currently the fastest man on the track. Time zone, though, shows Radford is getting a slight tenth off him every now and then. I don't know how much that'll really mean in the long haul if he keeps his distance, but he is giving him slight speed gain back up here, but he still has a lot of work to do. Look at this now, coming back through the field here. John Garrett struggling to keep up speed, and Griffin right now, he's struggling to keep it ahead of lap traffic. Michael Pratt scoots it right up ahead of him. Pratt doesn't seem to really mind or care too much. Wants to get himself back on the lead lap here. And I think he's willing to really put up whatever he has to do to get there. Smart thinking on his end to really take control and see what they can do here. Backs down around here. Dustin Franklin now in his wake. Franklin going up top. He's going to let Griffin kind of get a little bit of momentum gain back off him just because of Pratt swinging his way in. Again, Pratt has a little bit more speed from the tires and a little bit more momentum to carry, but sadly, that does not mean that will translate to success for him here. Coming around. Oh, there's a clip and a hit, and again, Franklin gets taken by Cody Griffin. Caution is back out. And now he may be a little bit hotter under the collar. That's the second time he has been taken for a ride here on the track. Oh boy. Franklin may not be too happy right now. Let's keep a close eye on him because this might not be good for Griffin. Franklin, just be careful, buddy. Alright, looks like he is being told by the officials, he's being told by a spotter, chill out a little bit. You'll get your chance later, and it looks like that is going to be the cause here. Let's take a look at the replay. Just a very unfortunate situation here. Griffin thought he had the line. Franklin thought he had the line, and two worlds do not mix very well in that case. Caution flies out due to it. Take another look at it from the chopper cam. Let's see if we can get a good look. Franklin was coming down, and Griffin said, "Wait, I'm down here, bud." Well, say what you will, but at the end of the day, Griffin, I would say, had the right of passage there. Franklin did give up enough of a corner panel. The rule of thumb in oval racing, in my opinion, and the way I was always taught, was if you give up the rear fender to nearly the tire of the corner, you have lost the corner. You cannot get that back. So, say what you want about Griffin. He's even admitted before, in probably a very colorful way here on the show, that he's extremely aggressive, and so are these guys. But I will say, even though that was an aggressive move, that was probably justified in some regards. I don't know. You fans out there tell me. I showed you the content, so you tell me at home. But I'd say Griffin was justified there, but I don't necessarily agree with how that was necessarily handled. Blake Trawick right now going to be in the 4th spot. John Garrett going to be currently the race leader. Corey Coe and Troy Radford going to be in the 3rd, 2nd spot, respectively. This is going to be interesting to see here because Trawick now had only one driver he had to pass. The last time he had to make some moves. Well, now he gets even more spots to have to pass around here. Edward Brando watching along with us here on the show. Edward, thanks so much for tuning on in. Down the back straightaway, race fans. We're about to set it back down on the track here. Off of corner number 4 this time on by here. We're going to send it back onto the track. Green back out. Send it back down around the track here off of turn number 2 here. John Garrett, Troy Radford going at it here. Radford cuts the corner to the inside. That is his opening. There you see it. And Garrett, abiding by his respectable nature, he gives the 94 the run, opened the door up, and it took a control. Radford took it to the inside. Garrett gave him the run, and now Radford is your new leader. Trawick trying to get back to the field, though. He got around 1, and Garrett, Gordon Larson Jr. also upholding the momentum. Uh-oh, Corey Coe nearly gets clipped there, and Blount's the one that goes for the ride off of turn number 4. Oh, and he gets right into the 47. He's upside down, slammed it right into the 6. Caution it, out flag here. Well, thankfully, he's able to drive off from there after a door slam shot right into the number 6. But Ray Radford had nowhere to go and really nowhere to get out from. A humongous hit on the number 6. Blount looked like he got toe tapped by the 84 after he got slowed down, slams it into the wall. He gets it back in the gas, and he just runs it right into the 47. Radford had nowhere to go. And a violent hit here on the front straightaway here, and a wild ride thrown at the Viagra number 6. One last look at it from Ray Radford's camera here. This one could be a bit wild here, folks. Oh, man. Talk about a violent hit there, folks. Oh my goodness. Well, Eric Blount is okay inside the driver's helmet and suit. Not so much the car. If he's got an instant repair right now, he's going to be using it, and he does. There is the instant repair up. The 6 will be back at it on the track, but cannot say the same for his pride, I would say. I think he's a little bit hot under the collar and a little bit mad at himself. Ray Radford, I gotta believe, probably just trying to get damage cleared up whatever he can. Probably wasn't expecting to have to go in a pit road to get some damage cleaned up at all. But unfortunately, he took a bit of a hit there and took a nice little lick, unfortunately, with him. Drivers that went into pit road here now giving us even more room for error here. They'll have just under 40 laps remaining. field, gonna get themselves parked into the round here and round out on the spot side here. Lining them up around the track here, running them through the field. This is going to be a interesting little shootout for these drivers now, because now they find themselves trapped in a very unique little circumstance. Green flag back out of the air. John Garrett's going to be the leader this time around here as they fire him down. Oh, trouble there right off of turn number 1 into 2. We got a problem. Gordon Larson Jr. in the double O takes a little bit of a ride there. Once again, problems continue to insist, and troubles continue to plague. These starts here now are now the other problem. Corey Coe, well, I said earlier, oh, Todd Postman, ouch. Gordon Larson Jr. takes a good hit there. I said earlier about Griffin and Franklin was that Griffin had gotten the inside there a little bit when you saw Franklin left the door open, but this is a bit of a different story. This is literally just not getting on the brakes quick enough. There, takes it right into the back, and the rear bumper takes all the impact. Larson Jr. probably just feeling a range of emotions right now inside that cockpit. The more these guys keep doing this, the worse it becomes. And they know it too. They can't give up that time. They can't give up that momentum, because the more they keep doing this, the more it hurts them and their overall chances at really making or breaking it down on the track and on the surface. So, right now, we are 3/4 of the way done with this one. Something, though, tells me we are just experiencing a little bit of a fireworks show that's still to come. Race fans, also, if I haven't already made it clear as well, here next week we'll be getting a little bit more back into the actual race time action here on the show. The 7500 Super Speedway on Tuesday night comes back to us here. Wednesday night, Six Sigma Sim Racing Winter Oval comes. And, of course, on the 12th, Dover Motor Speedway will be for the Pit Star Racing Series. And then that next Sunday will be, of course, Pedal Metal Racing League. So we've got some tracks and lineups lined up on the show to really bring to you guys some crazy racing ahead. Should be exciting to see. tuning them in right now off of turn number 3 into turn number 4, though. Field ready to march the way back on around. Parking them out down off of turn number 3 and 4. We're going to back out once again. Uh-oh, no, no, more trouble, more trouble. Russ Hancock gets clipped up in the spot there. Looked like he might have got himself trapped between a rock and a hard place. They stay green. And no, they will not. Russ Hancock will get us the caution out. Caution flag thrown down on the track here. We'll take another look at the replay here. And gets it into a Troy Radford there, and Radford looks like that was the reason why the caution had came out there. And once again, yet it really just kind of boggles my mind here where these drivers are expected to get through this opening and where they're getting through the shot. Again, I know they're trying to get as much power as they want out of the track, but again, this is a very tough spot to be at, because you got to think there's somebody up top there, and there's somebody that's going to come down. Like, I get it where Russ is trying to come from here, but again, this is not exactly what I think any of them were expecting. One more look at it. Again, Russ is nowhere near the preferred racing lane. Here comes Radford. And Hancock completely eviscerates the 94 out. And again, you know, we heard him say earlier on that he was a little bit worried about how hard it was going to be to control the car. Well, I think he's going to have a lot more troubles controlling it now unless he gets that fixed up, which he's already in pit road getting that done. So we're going to have to see how that handles and affects his overall speed here. We had so much green flag racing there for a little bit. It looked like we were going to be kind of pushing this a little more towards the end of the run, but doesn't seem to be the case. So here we go once again, race fans. The field will square their way back out around the track. No time to waste and a lot of time to give. This field going to be finding themselves between the toughest ordeals, the tightest spots right now. Back into the green flag we wave. What will happen next? TJ Mitchell with the lead. Trawick, though, sees an opening, doesn't go for it. Interesting strategy there. Backs off. Didn't allow himself to sucker himself in. Cody Griffin, no, he may have just suckered himself more into than he realized. And he spins it off of turn 4. Griffin gets a piece from Garrett. Caution is out again. Well, he said earlier on and plenty of times before, and even Gruyere got in there a little bit. He wrecks it, unfortunately, in a problematic situation for John Garrett and Cody Griffin. But again, what can you do in that scenario? What really could he have done to even be had there? That will be the question you have to answer. But first, let's take a look at the replay here. I really don't know where everything went wrong here for Griffin. He just overdrove the corner, I know that, but Garrett looked like he just got kind of clipped there and just went for a little spin. Doesn't seem he doesn't take any damage there, so at least the car is one piece, but the same can't be said there for Cody Griffin here. We'll take a look at the replay here. This is what happened on the high camera here. He just overshot it. He thought he could save it like he's done so many times today. But that wasn't the case. And you can see Griffin got clipped up. Bradford got in a little smoke screen. Into the wall protection again. Man, that is... what an absolutely heartbreaking spot to be put into if you were that 0-3 camp. And remember, that championship is still lined up for grabs here, but... things getting absolutely wild here on the show. We'll take a look as we are currently on caution number 9 of the day. Absolutely wild to say the least for how many cautions we've had and how many times we've had to see that yellow flag just bolster out. We're down to the final 20 laps here, race fans, and this is going to be where things really start to put 2 and 2 together. Now, if I am DJ Mitchell right now, my first thought is, number 1, don't let the 056 buy me. Number 2, don't let that rear end slide out anymore. And number 3, don't let anybody else try to take you from the lead. If you can follow all 3 prompts, then I'd say he can possibly win this one out. But again, Treywick is not going to be an easy cat to take down, and he knows it. Approaching the restart zone off of the back straightaway here. The field will come around and bring themselves back into the playing field here. Across the plains here, back to the green flag, a restart zone. We go again. Slinging them back through the field here. Every driver themselves. Bound a little bit loose. Here comes Rada down the inside. Rada has had himself a habit of getting into good spots and throwing himself into even worse spots. The AFL machine trying to get something going here. Uh-oh, Gordon Larson Jr. up into the wall on the double O. Is going to swing it back down, try to hang on. DJ Mitchell getting all she's worth down there, but so are the rest of your field. Dustin Franklin right now is putting it to Treywick. Treywick not able to escape. Franklin's clutches. That's giving Mitchell enough of time to escape. Eric Blount, though, managing to kind of get around there. Look out from the back, though. Here comes the 5 of Chantel, the throttle bottle. She's still in this one as well. She's been able to hang on for a while. Does have a slight bit of damage on the left front of the nose, but seems to be holding up okay. Todd Poston, massive damage on the right front. And as I say that again, Bottle goes back to the grass. She gets some hang time in the grass. Not only did she open up her own lawn care service, she opened up a freestyle camp down in the grassy plains on the front stretch. Franklin trying to hang in there a little bit right now. Treywick and Mitchell going at it here as Franklin tries to get a piece of either of them. Oh, Franklin nearly saw it. Call it catastrophe. Strike of Mitchell hangs on. Treywick is literally on his nose on his playing field here, trying to hang it down. Franklin straight up fighting for position, jockeying for the run. Any driver for themselves with 15 laps to go. Treywick with major problems. The glitch graphic room is not only what messing with them, but they're costing him a chance of the win. Radford sneaks by. Franklin into the second spot. We've got a battle for the lead. DJ Mitchell in the Pontiac 61 knows he cannot make any more mistakes. He's got to be perfect. Defensive blocking and block to the field. Hang on for all you've got. He's well aware of that. Radford right now looking in. Going for the run. Will he go to the inside? He does. He skips Franklin up a little bit to the outside. Powering off the turn. Still not quite enough. They can't get too aggressive with one another, though. They still have to fight to get to Mitchell. Troy Radford has won at Richmond before. He'd love to add another one to this with a Super Late model in it. Going down low, sends it sky high, looking for the 61. Corey Coe with problems down there. He has come to a dead stop on the back stretch. They remain green. Ah, Radford! Bump and run by Dustin Franklin. Manages to save it through the middle. 3 wide through the gap. Cody Griffin gets completely taken out as Franklin catches him off the backstretch. Caution is out. And a violent wreck ensuing for the leaders. Treywick involved in it. And now I think there's someone that's going to be pretty hot right now. We said earlier Franklin was hot. I think Griffin may be a little bit more hotter now. Oh, watch out. Now, boys, remember, you got to treat your car with respect. You can treat your fist with disrespect later, but don't treat the car with disrespect. Looks like Griffin is going to let peace over mind get the better here and make sure he doesn't do anything too crazy down there. But unfortunately, same can't be said about this little situation. We'll take a look at the full replay in a minute here, race fans, but look at this. Almost timed it perfectly, then Dustin Franklin. I'm having a hard time understanding it. Did he intentionally take him out, or what went wrong there? It looked like, in my opinion, just got a little bit too loose here. We'll look at Radford's cam here. This is what started the chain of reaction. There's the bump. Here comes Griffin. They nearly go 4 wide. Franklin, it's hard to really say. It looked like he got loose there and then he just completely caved in. I'd say that's all Franklin, though, for starting all of it. That'd be my opinion there, but I don't know how the fans and the judges will rule that. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. I think the judges are, and the officials are looking very carefully at it. But again, this is what started it all, so that's why I'll put most of it on this guy. Well, looks like from that end on Griffin, it looked like he was trying to save the car. But it just couldn't quite keep it under control enough, and that's where the trouble started in road. And the officials are looking to be giving Franklin the talk here later in the trailer, but I don't think that's going to slow him down. Troy Radford, how the heck is this 94 still even in second place is beyond me, but credit where credit is due as a driver. You don't make mistakes like that and not save it once in a while. Radford absolutely made some very important key moves there that may have saved his race. Out of all of it, honestly, I got to give the nod to Radford for his incredible save and driving there. Griffin will give him the move of the night here, without a doubt, making that big jump into the inside, the middle for a 3-wide salute there to try to make the absolute magnificence of passes, only to come up just a little bit short. But now that really stretches us into this moment here, race fans, which is, who the heck is going to win this race and be able to finish this one out on top? I don't even know anymore. We'll put the top 5 on the screen for these final laps here as we're getting ready to get back to the green. DJ Mitchell, slight damage on the left front. Took tires and fuel halfway in this race on lap 69. Troy Radford on lap 91, tires and fuel, but how much has he suffered from that little hiccup off of turn 2, or turn 1 into 2? That remains to be unknown. Steve Oreda and Eric Blau, lap 83 and lap 77, respectively, for the pit road stops. This determines the winner. We're coming up, 6 to go. On this restart zone, the best will come out of them, or the worst will bring them to it. We're about to find out. Here's the green flag. We're back up. 6 laps to go. We'll turn to 5 laps next time around. Radford has speed, and he does have speed. He's got momentum to the inside. No, gets blocked by the 61. Radford will have to wait. Gonna look for another opening. Rada slightly loose off turn 4. Momentum lost. Right now the battle is between these two. To the inside. Here comes Radford to the inside for the run. Troy Radford trying to take Mitchell down. Mitchell is loose. There's the lead. Troy Radford has put the MiG tonight in the lead. Griffin with problems down there again, and caution is out again. And the 0-3, unfortunately, is just having a time and a half here in Richmond, I'll say. What on earth happened here? Came off of turn number 2, and Dustin Franklin looked like he just completely got himself trapped between a rock and a hard place again, and Cody Griffin once more just found out the hard way what happens when you're trapped between a rock and a hard place. Franklin goes for the ride. He goes for a wild one upside down there as Radford gets him back off his roof there. The funny thing is, I don't think really Franklin took much damage off that. And I think there might be a few words being spewed out between those two guys right now on how this one's going. For Troy Radford, though, right now, taking that race lead away, now secures him in a great chance and a great opportunity to win this one out. What happens next, and where do we go from here, race fans? Things couldn't be any crazier if you tried. So, race fans, we've got just a green-white checker attempt ready and set to go. And you can see this field has completely dished itself around and throw itself a hat and a curveball every corner, every turn, every lap. Nobody has been saved from the madness. This all hinges now on how do you handle yourselves here on these restarts. How do you handle yourself at the very end of it all? My opinion, really it'll be the best driver who stays out of the most trouble. So the time has come. Radford has got the lead. He just needs one more good restart. Mitchell really feeling like he got himself trapped between a rock and a hard place again. Steve Rada right now looking at that 94 very carefully. Wants to get the best restart he can off him. Radford has literally been put to the moon and back in this race. He wants, more than anything, to finish it out on top. Will he be able to do it? Off the corner number 4, the final restart could be engaged here on the start. The field will move their way to the chains down across the playing field. Steve Rada making a great jump to the inside. Problems down there. Russ Hancock gets into it a little bit, sends Len McNeese and Ray Radford straight into the wall protection. White flag is out though. We're going to finish this one out. A huge collision off of the backstretch on turn 4. What is going on? What the hell are they doing out there? What is going on? They're wrecking a roof of the fun. Oh my God. Radford finishes the race here at turn number 3 to turn number 4. It's over. Troy Radford will win it. Checkers are out. It may be one of the most chaotic endings. And frankly, I don't even know what to say to that ending other than the guy that went through it all survived the most. And I'm sorry for my language there for a minute, but I don't even know what to say to that. I think I've only said that word like once or twice here on these broadcasts. But here he is, race fans. Your race winner from Duncansville, Pennsylvania. Troy Radford will win it here in Richmond. And a solid victory here on the show. Troy Radford is the victor here on PT Race TV. Well, to say the guy that, my opinion, put in the most work, was dished out the most fights and the most problems, came out on top. And possibly for a good reason. Let's take a look at the results here. The winner today will be Troy Radford here after, I don't know what the heck that white flag lap was. And again, I apologize in advance for my language there. But, yeah, that's really, I can't say much else besides that. Anyway, Steve Rada goes second. Eric Blount will go third. John Garrett will go fourth. Gordon Larson Jr. is going to go fifth. Sixth will be Blake Trawick. Seventh is going to be Corey Coe. Eighth will be Michael Pratt. Ninth is DJ Mitchell. And Russ Hancock finishes the top 10 out to round it out. The 18th position finishers out of it all. All right. We've got some work to do, race fans. Let's listen down to your top 3 drivers now. Joining me here in the Viagra number 6, your third place finisher today, Eric Blount will come away as the first podium here for his 2023 campaign. And Blount, congratulations on that here, sir. But nevertheless, this Viagra number 6 pretty much got thrown to the wolves, and with the new equipment, they seem to hold up out there. How well were you feeling there later into this run?
Oh, felt great. You know, after that incident, we went all the way to the back. came up with a strategy that would, put us back in front if we had another caution, which we got. It worked out. We was able to get back to the front and hold that track position all the way dang near to the end of the race when we had a shot at it, and that's all you can ask for.
It certainly was indeed here. Now, Blind, I got to ask you, man, this first podium of the season, the new technology you got working around with your sim rig and everything, does that evoke confidence to really get better and better here through this one?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like working out a new race shop. So we're gonna just try to do this more often throughout this season.
For sure there. All right, Blount, any final words for the fans out there or anyone to thank?
Yeah, I want to say congrats to my buddy Troy. Great run, great race. Teammate Gordon, Corey, all the guys that raced pretty good up front. I mean, great night.
Great night indeed. Blount, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir, and you guys up in the booth.
You too, buddy. Eric Blount, ladies and gentlemen, will come away today. Your third place finisher. Coming today in the second spot, though, he'll pilot the Big 8 FL. It is Steve Areta bringing it home today from Coconut Creek, Florida. Steve, congratulations on that second place finish today, sir. And really, you kind of invoked the strategy and the tire limit. You pushed yourself pretty far here and had a chance to get to Radford, and the chaos behind you really kind of settled in, too.
Yeah, it definitely was crazy. I didn't think I would be up there having like a legit chance of possibly winning this race.
For sure there. Now, I'll ask you, too, I mean, with the way things were kind of going here late in the run, really, was there anything in your mind that was kind of getting you more out of control, a little bit more in position here to hang in there?
Just when I started seeing I kept moving up in spots, it's like, oh man, that everything making me nervous. But other than that, everything setup felt great. Admins put on a good show. Other than, yeah, we had a lot of cautions, but what place doesn't have that?
Certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, Steve, as you end out today here in the second place spot, who do you want to thank here for this podium?
Want to thank Blake Treywick. He gave me a little bit of help on how to use the setup a little bit more, be able to help me for advantage. Firelight Esports, team I race for, Beagle Designs, Cog Evolution.
All right. Well, Steve, nevertheless, man, congratulations on this second place finish today, and it's great to see you back here in the fighting position.
Thank you.
Steve Rada, ladies and gentlemen, coming away second place today. But the hard charger, and I'll say probably, I'll get criticized for this, probably the most deserving driver today, came out on top. Troy Radford keeps the Duncansville, Pennsylvania 94 make tonight in victory lane here in Radford. It's been a while since we've really been able to see you here in this spot, in this position. But you had to fight, scratch, and claw just to hang on for this one. And at times, it looked like your race was done and over with, sir.
It was absolutely hairy. So I had a very different breaking point from most of the guys out here. And I don't know whether that's just my line here at Richmond or the fact that I didn't get practice. But my breaking point was way earlier. And unfortunately, that ended up with me getting punted a few times on entry. So it was a little hairy.
A little hairy, a little bit crazy there. And you even got, really didn't even have time to qualify, let alone really race it out here. But I'll ask you this. The final move you made on Mitzel, with that caution flag coming out, do you think that kind of slowed down your speed a little bit to hang on to the wind, or do you think it was just kind of enough to keep you calm and cool and collected to get one last good restart out?
Kind of a little bit of both. I mean, honestly, I had good speed. I had fresher tires. I took advantage of one of the other when I spun earlier. I took advantage of that and got some fresh tires for the end. So I had better tires than DJ did. I think he was on pretty old ones at that point. So he was definitely, you could see he was a little tight. So I was just trying to take advantage of him there. But, again, the more cautions come out towards the end, the more it gets harder and takes away that tire advantage. So, if it had gone green for the end, it definitely would have been a lot easier. But DJ's a really talented driver and did a great job. So I hated he didn't get the finish that he deserved. But, he was definitely doing a heck of a job up there.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Radford, it's been time since you've been in victory lane. Let's hear from you, sir. Who do you want to thank for this one today?
Oh, of course, I've got a kind of a weird paint scheme on here for me. Normally, I run Lucky Finn Project, National Kidney Foundation, as well as the Evidence-Based Mommy scheme. So, of course, big shout out to all of them, all big parts of my family and my life. So, love everything all those organizations are doing. And, of course, big shout out to all the guys over at Pit Stall. They just have a lot of fun and get out there and try to dig a little bit. So unfortunately, with my job, I don't get off work on oftentimes until at least 8 o'clock, and I literally ran inside, and by the time I got in iRacing, I was time to race. So very lucky to get in the position that I was in tonight to be able to win the race. That's about it.
For sure there. Troy, man, congratulations on this one. It's been a time, but it's great to see you back behind the wheel and at victory lane.
Thank you.
Troy Radford, ladies and gentlemen, brings it to victory lane to end out what could best be described as one of the most chaotic starts I've ever seen to any year, much less this one. So, if you guys enjoyed it, again, I promise I'll keep more PG-centric here and not PG-13 on the final lap next time. But, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Big thank you to our friends over at Fort Worth Screen Printing and Lighting Rats for your support. All thank you to the fans out there for over almost 3 years now of support and success here at the broadcast. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies.